Episode 21 of LAOFCS Weekly. We're going to be talking about our final Oscar predictions. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to episode 21 of Los Angeles Online Film Critics Society Weekly, because I hate saying LAOFCS, and so does a lot of people, as we learned from our award ceremony. I am Scott Menzel. Nice to be here. Joining me, I have two wonderful people with me today. We have Lauren Huff and Jimmy the O.
Jimmy 2 the O.
But you can be Jimmy O.
Technically, it's Jimmy O.
Right.
That's really what it is.
Can you clear it up for us live on air today?
It's Jimmy O. Any social media, Jimmy 2 the O, because you usually need to add the extra stuff. And yeah, there you go. That's why I'm that.
How about you, Lauren?
What about me?
Tell us a little bit about you.
Oh.
What makes you so wonderful? What makes Lauren Huff so wonderful? Except this cute puppy photos.
This is a good question.
Yes,
Why?
yes.
Why?
We did have puppy bowl puppies at the office this week, so that was pretty special.
She works at the Hollywood Reporter, ladies and gentlemen.
I do work at the Hollywood Reporter.
What do you do there?
I'm an associate editor, which means that I do a little bit of everything. So yeah.
But you love it there. Don't you? Don't you love it there?
Don't you love it there? Puppies. I love puppies.
Putting me on the spot.
No, no.
Jeez, what is this?
Well, it's been a while since you've been on.
It has, yeah. When were we on?
It's been a
Was
while,
it-
yeah.
He's been on a little bit more.
I think
though.
I was on
You guys
recently.
missed without me?
Yeah.
Well,
We
we
should
love
always
having
be
you.
together.
Yeah,
man.
I
We
know.
should always be together.
But we're
make
trying
a
to mix
team.
it up. We want to,
Yeah.
hopefully this year we're going to bring some more people on. There's going to be more people added to the organization. And I think it'll be nice to have some variety. I'm even toying with the idea of having different hosts. Like, kind of like maybe every other week we can switch it up with hosts too.
Exciting.
So if you guys are down for that,
I could do that.
you can do that.
Get me around that work schedule.
Yeah, I know.
Could do that voice though.
You could do that. You could do that. Hello. So
Getting weird over
today we're gonna just do. We did our movie pick of the week, which it's January. Let's be honest, it's January. So we didn't do our weekly movie pick of the week, but we did like a midway point through January, and we talked about this movie last week. Unless Jimmy wants to chime in a little bit on it, because I am not happy with this pick. But it's Escape Room. Sony, you're welcome. You're welcome, Sony.
I had a good time with it. I enjoyed it. I won't go into it too much, but yes, I had a good time with it. I like the characters, which is rare in a PG-13 teeny bopper quote unquote splatter movie. Not even.
Is it a teeny bopper splatter movie?
I always think of like Wish Upon or Splendor Man. You have all these terrible characters playing really awful people, but I actually like the characters in Escape Room for the most part.
But is it a teeny bopper movie?
It's not really,
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm hung up on. I don't know.
Yeah.
kind of, yeah. I mean, it generally when a thriller revolves around escape rooms and a PG-13 rating, yeah, it's made for teens.
Okay.
Technically.
Okay, that's valid. PG-13.
And I admire Lauren Huff for being the smart one at the table and avoiding most of these movies.
How
So
dare you.
congratulations.
How dare
It's
you.
only because it's award season, you guys. We're
Yeah.
busy at the office. I do not
What
have
are
the
you
time.
award season? You busy with that crap? Come on.
Who is?
Yeah,
Who's
yeah,
busy
yeah,
Who's
right,
busy
right,
this time
right.
of
Nah,
year?
nothing.
So we thought it would be fun today. We're not going to go through all the billions of categories that are out there for award season, because we don't want to be here for 3 hours and talk about it.
Sorry, craft categories.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, those are the ones that, the real fans get excited about. The visual effects and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But everyone wants to hear about the big five, I feel, which we can start with Best Director.
Sure.
Lauren, let's start with you. What are your predictions for Best Director category?
Well, I guess we all did it, so that makes me feel a little bit
Yes.
less nerdy. But I wrote
Yes.
all of them down, so if I'm looking down a lot, that's why. I have Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. I have Bradley Cooper for A Star Is Born. Spike Lee for Black Klansman. Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite, and Adam McKay for Vice.
Okay.
I think Peter Farrelly is going to get knocked out, but I think his film won't.
It's interesting. I have him and Barry Jenkins as two of the ones that you don't have.
See, I would love to see Barry get in. I would also love to see Damien Chazelle. I would love to see Oh, gosh,
Really?
Who else? Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean,
so yeah,
I
it's a
love
well-made-
everything Damien does,
okay,
so
fair enough.
that's not surprising. But I thought that First Man was just like such a work.
It's a well-directed film,
Yes.
per se.
Yes, I know how you feel. It's fine. We'll move on.
We're La
But
La Landers for life,
We
you
are.
know. We are, but
Yeah.
I just think all the technical elements that he had to do, I just
Sure,
thought that as a director, it impressed me. But
Fair
anyways, there are lots of people that I wish would be nominated, but I don't think will. So
give us one or two.
Well, I just did.
No, but
those.
no, two more.
Two more?
Yeah, can you think of two more that you would give?
Probably. But
Sorry, I'm
having
putting her
time-
on the
Yes,
spot.
I know.
Totally.
I should have wrote down some alternates. Maybe you guys move on, and I'll think about it.
What do you have? Do you have the same people?
Pretty much. I have Cooper. I have Quaron. I have Spike Lee. I have McKay. I'm going with Farley because I still think that movie. Going to Academy screenings, I hear Green Book come up a lot. So. Unfortunately, that's. I mean, I like Green Book. Well, I don't know if the praises necessarily is.
Right. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
But that's who I think they're gonna know. I would rather. You know what film I think? Talk about. I can't remember his name. I'm like spacing on the name.
Maybe it's one of mine, and we'll help you out.
Paddington 2. It's
Paul
beautifully
King?
directed. Yeah. Beautifully directed. That film is so creative in the way it explores the little set pieces, and it's a beautifully directed film.
I would actually say a movie that has been completely overlooked this entire award season, every single category. I would say give Peter Hedges a chance for Best Director.
Yes.
Sure,
Yeah, I'm with you
sure.
there. Also, I thought of it. John Krasinski for A Quiet Place.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
a big one that I
really
don't
well
think
done.
will show up in the major categories, but I would love if it did. I think it'd be a spoiler for sure.
And I think it's interesting that you point that movie out, because if you look at his track record, which I do love him, but it's his directing track record has not been very good.
Right. Right.
Especially with The Hollers, which I know like a lot of people really did not like, me included. And to kind of see him do something that is outside of his wheelhouse, so to speak, and do such a great job with it, I think he should, get some recognition as well.
Yeah, I'm with
So.
you there.
I would also love to see Suspiria get Best Director because that movie is beautifully directed. Thank you very much. I'm done now.
All right. Best Supporting Actress, Jimmy. Let's start with you.
Supporting Actress. This is a weird one. Stone and Weiss for The Favorite. I mean, three of the best female performances ever. I mean, it's just
In
an
one
amazing
movie.
movie. I really want to see him get nominated for director too.
I
but,
do too. When he got left off the DGA.
I got Regina King, of course. That's an obvious. I'd like to see Amy Adams for Vice. I think she was phenomenal, and I think she really had. I really had an interesting reaction to that character and her performance, and it really blew me away. And I know that it's funny, we're seeing so much great work from Nicole Kidman, but really not a lot of talk about her getting necessarily for Destroyer. So, Boy Erased. I'm pretty sure she'll get nominated for Best Supporting Actress.
For Boy Erased, not Destroyer.
I think she's going to get for both.
I do not.
It's a rare thing. It's happened. Jessica Lange did it. I'm trying to think.
I love her.
I do too. She's amazing. I like this person. I have a feeling she will. I loved her. I've loved her in everything I've seen. I haven't seen The Upside, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's good in that too.
I'm sure she's good. See, she's really proven herself to be a phenomenal. She's great in Aquaman. She's just a talented, versatile, and she's really showing what she can do lately. It's blowing me away. So I'd love to see her get nominated for both, to be honest.
It's sad to me because I think this category, and we can talk about this briefly. What are your feelings on this whole thing that they did with The Favorite this year? I mean, it's such a strange thing to talk about, and I know like every time we talk about it, we roll our eyes, but I just don't know how I feel about it still after all this time.
See, I know a lot of people that get really upset about category fraud. I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
I think however you think your film, I mean, unless it's egregious, like the person has 90% of the screen time and you put them in supporting, that's stupid.
Yeah.
But most of the time you don't see that, I think usually there's some sort of argument for it. And in this case, obviously, I mean, I think all three of them are they're all either
It's
lead
like
or all
co-leads,
supporting.
yeah,
they're,
absolutely.
you can't split them up in my mind, but I understand why they did, and I'm okay with it if it means that at least one of them has a chance of winning, which is why I think they did it. I think they said, Olivia Colman's our girl, you know, like we know we'll get nominations for the other two, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, and that's just what happens with those kind of movies. So it doesn't bother me personally, but I know people have very strong feelings about it.
I did have strong feelings. I was like, no, she's supporting, but you know, I've watched the movie a few times. I love The Favorite. It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorites.
Yes, I know. Say it all the time.
And to be honest, I think Olivia Colman's performance is so astounding and so just incredible that I've kind of switched my views, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, Best Actress. It opens on her. It that last shot of her is I can see it in my head. I mean, it's so incredible, and she is. It all revolves around her. So I'm kind of okay with it now. I'm okay.
Yeah, it's weird to me because I just remember seeing the movie Telluride, and even just the setup for this movie Telluride. They did a tribute to Emma Stone right before. And it was so, you know, they were highlighting all her work. And to me, it's funny because the Queen in the film is like the supporting character.
Yeah.
Because it's Emma Stone's story. She comes into this world. She tries to adapt to it. I know, like, we don't need to talk about it, but it's just kind of funny because it's a strange coincidence because I think like Emma Stone has had her heyday the last couple of years. She's been like getting nominated over and over again, and she's obviously going to be nominated again here. But it's kind of like, who do we really want to put? This to me was like, who do we really want to push to win?
I agree.
Who can really, you know, be a front runner for that, and that's why I think they put Coleman in it.
I agree completely,
I
and I
agree.
think their bet has paid off because so far at some of the precursors, she's done pretty well.
Yeah, she's done very well.
So
Astounding performance.
Yeah. I'm so glad people are catching on to Olivia Colman here because I know she's
I
huge.
know.
Yes,
overseas,
right?
and I love British television.
She's good in
so
everything.
She's incredible.
Everything.
Do you guys watch Broadchurch?
No, but Ashley does, and she loves it.
So good. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody check it out if you love Olivia Colman.
Yeah.
What were did you have any different picks for this?
I think we had actually the exact same ones. Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, Regina King, Amy Adams, and I had Kidman for Destroyer.
Okay.
Only
fair enough.
because I just don't see them going with the SAG 5, which would be Emily Blunt. I just don't. I feel like there's going to be one sort of weird one, and that's going to be it. And they love Nicole Kidman. She's nominated all the time, so.
Yeah. I said the same one Jimmy did with Boy Erased. I think Nicole.
Oh, really?
I think she has a better chance with that one, to be honest.
Interesting. But she's gotten nominated more for Destroyer.
Yeah, and again, I think it's a fantastic performance. This has been a good year for women in film, and some amazing. It was so hard to come up with just 5 great performances from women. It's been an astounding year.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
I misspoke. I was looking at the wrong category. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right because she's lead, wouldn't she? Yes, sorry. Spoilers, spoiler alerts for later. Claire Foy is the other person I have in there.
Oh, okay.
Really?
So we don't have the
Really?
same. Yeah.
Really?
For
For Girl with the Drag?
No, yeah.
Yes, that one.
That one, exactly.
Hey, I liked her in that. Stop. Come
For
on. She was
First
awesome.
Man.
It was
First
fun.
Man, sorry. I don't know what.
It's interesting because I think
better
that's
than
the build.
What?
No,
I didn't hear what you said.
It was probably better than First Man.
Yeah, the girl with the
Dragon, whatever.
gosh, you
I don't
too.
know.
That dragon thing.
Sorry, we're
other
the
tattoo.
we're the haters club for First Man.
I know. That's okay.
It's all right.
You know, it's interesting because I do feel, and it's weird because you just said that this is a strong year for women. To me, this category though is just like there's no competition here. It's Regina King.
It's
like
Regina
it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who the other 4 people are. It's
No.
Regina King.
Well, and
She's
see, and
so
I think
good.
in any other year, Rachel Weisz and Emma Stone would sort of battle it out, but because they're both nominated together, it's just anytime that
Cancel it out.
happens, they tend to cancel each other out.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. I don't know. Can we just give them all an award?
Yes.
They all
Yes.
deserve it.
Yes.
They all
Yes.
deserve.
I
All
agree.
these performances
Yes,
are amazing.
I agree.
Yeah.
Best supporting actor, my picks is Mahershala Ali for Green Book, Richard E. Grant for Can You Ever Forgive Me, Sam Elliott, A Star Is Born, Michael B. Jordan for Black Panther, and Adam Driver for Black Klansman. What did you put?
Did you say Timothy in there?
No.
Who was your other one?
I have problems with Timothy.
Oh, Michael B.
Chalamet.
Jordan.
Yes.
That's where it was. I think we agree on everything but that.
Yeah, I agree. Everything except I put Sam Rockwell, George
Oh,
Bush.
interesting. I think he could
he's
be a
amazing
spoiler.
in
I
that
think he could be a
movie.
spoiler in that category.
Wow, what a! I was convinced it was him.
It was a little disturbing.
It
It
was amazing.
Yeah.
I love the performances in that movie.
Yeah.
Every performance in that movie.
Every performance.
Tyler Perry
Yes.
was
Oh my
so great in that
gosh.
movie.
I still forget he's in it because I forget that it's Tyler Perry.
I know.
Every
So-
time I'm like,
So good
It's
in that
so
movie. God.
he just likes to pop up in Oscar movies and just like blow your mind. Like I always think of like Gone Girl, for instance, just like something that you
Yeah.
don't expect, and then hey, it's Tyler
It's
Perry.
Because
Yeah.
Tyler Perry is the ultimate businessman. He knows exactly what he's doing. Like
yeah,
he's
he
like
does.
he's like
guy.
Medea movies, they make money. He's like, they're cheap to produce. I can film them in like 20 days. We'll get them out. It'll make a ton of money. And then he's like, I'll pop up in a random Oscar movie, and then people can say, oh yeah, he is a great actor after all.
That guy's good.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
guy's
That
good.
guy's talented.
So, how about for you? You have anyone different for that?
No, the only one was Rockwell. I had Elliot, I had Ali, I had Richard E. Grant, who is really, really good in that. The
I want
movie's
him to
fine.
win, but I don't
I
think
would
he's
love to
going
see
to.
him win. I think it's a really beautiful performance. And then Rockwell and Driver. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah. It's I think it's a kind of a predictable. This is a little
Yeah,
predictable.
it's a little predictable. It
Watch, they'll go with completely different things. You know.
I don't like she's saying, like Lauren is saying, I think there's going to be one pop up in each category.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we're going to
for
be
sure.
wrong on one of these.
Oh yeah.
There
And that's
always
it.
is. I played it a little safe with all of mine, but I know, realistically speaking, that next Tuesday I'm going to be surprised
Yeah,
by a few.
absolutely.
At least a few.
Lauren, back to you, Best Actress.
Best Actress. Okay, well, since I already spoiled one of those,
Yeah.
clearly need more coffee this morning. Nicole Kidman for Destroyer, not supporting. Glenn Close for The Wife. Olivia Colman, obviously, for The Favorite. Lady Gaga for A Star is Born. And Melissa McCarthy for Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I'm going to throw the oddball out in that category. I'm going to say Elsie Fisher for 8th grade.
I would love that.
I had her name written down and I crossed it out because I think Toni Collette for Hereditary.
That would be great.
I
That
think
would
she
be great.
deserves it.
I mean, we obviously
she's
already
gave it to her.
incredible.
Yes.
I would as a fan of genre, I would love to see that happen. And if anyone can do it, it's Toni Collette.
that's-
yeah.
That's true.
It's a shame that I can't say Charlize Theron.
Mm-hmm.
It's really sad. Like, I want Charlize Theron to be in this conversation, but I just know she won't
She
be.
won't
Yeah.
be. She won't be.
Yeah, there's several of those this year. I feel like that.
I would want to put Julia Roberts in there.
I
for
would
Benjamin's
too.
Bad.
I
Oh,
would too.
yes.
Oh my gosh! It's a hard, again, so many great performances this year. It's really impressive, and I hope we see more of this.
I
every
honestly,
year.
my criticism of this category is having Melissa McCarthy in it. I know that's a weird thing to say, but like those other names that we dropped, I feel like she would make the better. They would make the better candidates in this
Yeah.
because Melissa McCarthy was good in that movie. Don't
She
get me
is.
wrong.
She's very good in it.
But it's
a good movie.
It's a combination
it.
of characters that she's kind of played before. Like I feel like it's a nice mixture of like some of her more dramatic work, like in St. Vincent, and then some of her comedic stuff, and it kind of goes back and forth between the two.
Yeah.
For me, it's a weird feeling that I felt about that movie. I didn't walk out of that with as much love as like a lot of other people felt.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, I like the movie quite a bit. I don't know if I would really feel it's really Oscar worthy.
Yeah.
On any level, but it was a very well made movie, and I would recommend it.
Kind of before we move on, I wanted to go jump on this because I know it's going to be a huge topic next Tuesday. All of us here at this table did not mention any females for Best Director. I just want to point that out on this show.
Yeah. That's because nobody else has the rest
Yeah,
of this year.
unfortunately,
It's
yeah.
really
What
sad.
if you can pick someone or one or two names again? Maybe we can talk about another category and you can think about it. But
No, that's as easy.
No, this
who would
is
who,
easy.
yeah who would you
Yeah,
who would you pick?
I would pick Karen for Destroyer.
Okay.
I love her. I love her work in this. I'd also pick Lynn Ramsey easily.
I would pick Lynn Ramsey as
I would
well.
replace a couple of these guys with both.
I loved Can You Ever Forgive Me, so I would put Mariel Heller in there as well.
Okay, fair enough.
For me, I would put Tamara Jenkins for Private Life.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
of course.
And then of course Lynn Ramsey as well because I think that one. And honestly, if I was gonna, this is a very controversial opinion. If I was going to knock people out, I would knock out Roma, and I would knock out Green Book.
I would knock out.
That's not controversial at this
Yeah,
table,
I don't think.
think.
I would
Based on our
easily
conversations at the table.
easily put Ramsey over that. I think
Yeah.
I think that's a beautifully directed film and a
Yeah.
powerful film.
Yeah.
And I would love to see her getting on. I'd love to see one of them. Somebody,
Just-
come on,
yeah.
Academy voters.
One, please.
Speaking of which, for going back to Best Actress, Catherine Hahn in Private Life is also a crime that there's no.
Catherine Hahn working should get an award. Period.
Yes.
She's the
Yeah.
best.
I agree
She is.
completely.
I love you, Catherine. Amazing.
What I hate about the Academy year after year is that there's just not as much love for comedies and horror films. And like, don't
Amen.
get me wrong, there are horrible comedies and horrible horror films out there, but when they're good, they're so good, and they
we've-
just
yeah.
never get recognized.
We've
or
seen
not
a
nearly enough.
resurgence of horror. I've long stood by the fact that I think Vera Farmiga in the Conjuring films
Yeah.
is
Really good.
absolutely,
Really good.
absolutely 100% deserving of some nomination of some sort. I think, in fact, the Babadook, another one. There's so many. Ever since the Babadook came out, I think we're seeing a real resurgence.
It's weird. It's between that one and what was the? Oh God, it's the one that has the car. Micah Monroe's in it.
Yeah, It Follows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've seen really great. In the 90s, we'd see maybe you'd have one or two good horror movies a year, maybe, if you're lucky. The rest would be kind of trashy or whatever, and fun, whatever. This year, we've seen, actually, the past 5 years, I believe, we've seen good.
About that.
I can easily make a top 10 in horror every year.
Yeah.
And that's, thankfully, I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
It's very happy about that.
So Best Actor, Jimmy, what's your pick?
This one's easy, I think. It's
Yeah.
easy to predict.
Yes.
Bradley Cooper for
Yeah.
me. I love the movie so much. Vigo, always. He's great. Rami Malek.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know whose award it is this year. Christian Bale and John David Washington.
Interesting.
I think he's so good in that movie.
He is
He's
good.
so.
He is really good.
He's charismatic. He's charming. He's intense. Such a great performance. Really, Black Klansman, if you're wondering.
Yeah. Black Klansman is great.
I had all of those as well, except my spoiler is Ethan Hawke for First Reformed.
Me too.
I almost put him.
Me too.
Well, go ahead.
You left out John David, right?
I did.
Me
Yeah.
too. That's why I left out.
Yeah, I did too. I actually don't have that film. Oh no, I do have Adam Driver for supporting. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but even that one's weird to me. Like I thought he was great, but it wasn't anything. I don't know, that film. The performances just aren't. They're really good for what they are, but they're not your typical
Showy Oscar.
Right. That's not to say they're not deserving, but
Yeah.
What's weird about that is I'm actually not an Adam Driver fan, and this movie and his performance in it actually made me like him.
I sort of agree with you on that.
You guys should see. What's it? Is it Patterson or no?
Oh.
Yes,
Oh.
but I know
love
what
that
you're
movie.
talking about.
Oh, you didn't like that? Oh my god! See the thing with me and Scott, we agree. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
agree like 90% of the time, but when we disagree, it's
It's
like
really
wow.
bad. It's really weird. It's extreme. It really
Yes.
is extreme. It's
Yes.
kind of funny.
Let's watch that movie together then.
No.
We'll watch that and Suspiria. You'll love it.
I'll watch Suspiria before I'll watch Patterson.
Really?
I'll tell you that much.
I'm taking that. Yeah, we're watching Suspiria. Amazing.
Take it where you can get it.
I know.
What are some picks that you would like to see in this category that are going to be overlooked? Because I feel this is an easy one too, like we were talking about.
Nothing's coming to mind at the moment, but that doesn't mean there aren't
Right.
any. I'm curious what you guys have to say.
Yeah, honestly, it's I'm having trouble trying to think of. I just don't think there were as many great performances
By
from men
males?
this
I
year.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I think all the big showy ones too, for me, are on my list.
Yeah.
The Christian
Oh,
Bale,
I
the
do
Rami
have a
Maleks.
best supporting actor that
Oh.
I think, and I can't believe I forgot this. Hugh Grant for Paddington 2.
No.
My gosh, I love Paddington 2. If it's not obvious, love
In case
Paddington
that's not
2.
obvious.
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of have to agree. There was really like the best actor category is very weak in terms of anyone building up after this.
Right.
Like I will say, John David Washington, of course. I
He's
forgot. You know who I
fantastic.
forgot for best supporting? Now going back to that, Russell Hornsby.
Sure.
had-
Oh
had-
yeah.
had
Oh my
this.
gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe
absolutely.
that. And an actress, of course, Amandla, which I'm just still like.
You kind of liked that movie, didn't you?
I did kind of like that
of,
movie.
yeah.
and
A little bit.
It's just it's like your Star is Born.
Yeah,
but you know
exactly.
the
Yeah.
difference is that no one's talking about this movie. So I feel like
We
and it's
did,
important,
and
yeah.
that was really that's one of the things I was really proud about. Just off topic on our award ceremony, the groups award
group,
ceremony.
yeah.
That's what we called ourselves.
Jeez, we have to because I'm like no one can spell it.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Really,
but
it's
the Hate You Give, see the Hate You Give. It's a fantastic film. I mean, it should at least script something. I would love to see it get some love.
That's even if it was two categories. You know, I
That'd be
can
amazing.
totally understand why Amanda's not here. I could get it, but like screenplay
Sure.
and supporting.
Sure.
Those two should have been like shoo-ins. Actress, going back to that real quick. Regina Hall, even though I did not support the girls, she was great in that movie.
Okay.
Who was it? Somebody. She won something.
Something recently, right?
Something recently,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was super surprising. I think it was
Yeah.
one of the critics groups, I think.
It wasn't the Critics' Choice.
No,
That
definitely
went
wasn't
very,
that.
very
Yeah,
predictable.
that was very predictable.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was. Thankfully. Ga.
But ties, really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I have a thing
I
with
know. Well, it's funny, we asked for feedback on our awards, and one of the comments was like, can we do something next year so there's no ties? And I'm kind of like, I guess we can put it up for a vote again.
Like runoff vote or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I don't mind ties, to be honest. Bear with me. I honestly, I would give I would give 5 awards to everyone nominated. To me, it's like it's so hard to say. Well, yeah, Bradley Cooper wasn't quite as good as Viggo Mortensen, or Viggo Mortensen wasn't quite as good as this person. They're all great.
Yeah.
If you're nominated for an award, you're generally pretty good. So so I don't mind a tie here or there. I don't mind it at all, especially when it's Lady Gaga.
I don't think
Right.
that's going to be happening at the
I
Oscars.
Won't
don't
happen at
think
the
so.
Oscars. No, that's gonna be the one to
Who do you
best
think?
actress.
Well, let's just go
All
for
right,
it.
well,
Who do you
let's
think?
go
Who
for
do you
it.
think is going to be though for best actress? Like
who
who's
do we
going to
think
win?
is
Who
gonna
will win?
win?
Oh wow. Well, it's between Gaga, Close, and Coleman.
I think Close gets
Close.
it.
Me too.
Because
Probably.
she
Probably.
would be. I mean, she's the person she's the performer that's been nominated the most that has not won,
Mm-hmm.
and I think people have heard that narrative now, and I think she's very beloved in the
Will
industry.
people actually see the movie though? Is a question. Like,
Yeah, that's fair because it's not going to pop up elsewhere.
no.
No.
It's not gonna-
So it doesn't have
and Golden
that
Globes
going
aren't
for it.
always. They don't always predict the.
True,
you know,
but the acting categories they're more predictive than the
Yes,
other
yeah,
ones.
yes.
But that's why Olivia Colman
Oh, I would love it. If
I
it was
would rather
Olivia.
see
My
her
pick
win.
would be Olivia Colman, but
and Lady
I
Gaga.
think
want a tie.
It's not happening.
What tie? What tie?
But if you asked me to choose who I think's winning it right now, it would be Close. I think.
Me
I
too.
agree with you, though I don't necessarily love that. I think
I agree. I'm with you.
I
Yeah.
think there's just too many good performances.
okay.
I call it draw. They all win.
All right, best picture. Go ahead, Lauren.
All right. So I don't think they're going to go for a full 10 because that hasn't happened
Nope.
since they switched it back to the between 5 and 10. So I think it's going to be another 8 year. I have Star is Born, Roma, Green Book, Black Klansman, The Favorite, Vice, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Black Panther.
I have 9 in it. I added 8th grade in there.
I would love that.
I would
There's so many
love-
that I want in this category that
Yes.
I didn't predict,
Like
but I would love if I was
2?
wrong.
Paddington 2?
Yeah, things like that. 8th grade. I would.
Jimmy's
I would love.
very subtle, isn't he? Like what
I'm
movies
very
does he
subtle.
like?
I
What
never-
movies does he like? Is it
can-
Stars Born and
you
Paddington 2?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Never tell with me. You
Yeah,
can never
no.
tell. I'm a closed book in that. Yeah.
It's funny because this category is like this award season for me has been very dull.
Yeah.
I feel like the same exact movies, the same exact names have come up over and over and over again, and then with the exception of maybe like 1 or 2 pop-ups here and there, it's just like I'm just so over it.
And what's frustrating to me about that is that, and I know some people disagree, but I loved this year for movies.
Yeah.
Like, I thought
Yes!
there were so
No, it
many.
was a fantastic
I thought
year.
it was too. And so to me, it's sort of disappointing to see some of these lesser films sort of like hop in all over the place and it being very predictable, like you said. So I hope that the Oscars sort of rectify that a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of faith that they will.
No.
Clearly, based on what I've predicted, but it would be nice. Like, I would love Cold War to pop up
Oh yeah.
elsewhere besides foreign film. Eighth Grade, I would love if that got a couple of nominations.
You know who I would love to see get a Best Actor nomination? Never happened. Logan Marshall Green for Upgrade. That performance is
wow.
astounding.
Yeah.
He's amazing in that film, and he pulls that crap off. Like, I love that movie. I would actually love to see that movie get a lot of love. I think it's a great script. I love that movie. I love Upgrade.
Spirit Awards, and it didn't even get there, right?
I know. Yeah. I'm like, damn it. Logan, I'm pulling for
The
you.
Spirit Awards were disappointing to me.
Where were they?
The nominations, at least.
See, that's where I thought there was more pop up and more variety than any other.
There was, and there usually is, but I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I feel like a lot of the indies that I love didn't show up there as much as I was hoping.
Which movies are you missing out on that you feel like are overlooked? I'm always curious about this because this could be part of our prediction, like not prediction, but our recommendations.
Yeah. Well, I'd have to go back and look at I haven't looked at the Spirit nominations in a long time, so I don't remember off the top of my head. But
Yeah,
I remember whenever they came out, I remember thinking, oh, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Can You Ever Forgive Me wasn't really in there, or
Well, I mean,
Eighth Grade. I'm trying to. This is like me riffing off the top of my head. I could be totally
No, it's
wrong.
okay.
I don't remember.
yeah, no, it's okay.
To be honest, I just remember being sort of disappointed when I saw them.
Yeah, I mean it was
Or surprised, maybe. Is a
surprised.
better
I
word.
think because there were some surprise people in there. Like John Cho got it for Searching was a nomination, which
That's a
I
good
thought
one.
was interesting. We the Animals, which I know a lot of people really liked. It. It's
Yeah.
very underappreciated. But yeah, I mean, the other category that we're not going to talk about today, but I think is like so predictable is documentary this year.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's
there's
like
no doubt.
And what's interesting about it is that this has also been a very strong year for documentaries, and I love Won't You Be My Neighbor, and I'm definitely happy that that's going to win. But it's interesting. But I did really love Three Identical Strangers. I love Free Solo, RBG.
RBG.
Yeah, like these are
I
great.
wouldn't be surprised if that is one that surprises people. I wouldn't be
RBG?
surprised if they give it to either RBG or Three Identical Strangers. I
I
really
agree.
wouldn't.
I actually feel like Won't You Be My Neighbor is not the clear front runner.
Yeah,
You don't think
to
so?
me,
I don't
I
think so.
want it to be.
I
'cause
want it.
just
Yeah, I
all
would
my
love
good
if it
feelings
was.
in there. But
I
yeah,
just have a
yeah.
feeling they tend to surprise me in those categories, and I feel like this year is going to be sort of surprising.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't know. It's like that's a gut feeling.
I
though.
feel the same way. Yeah, no, absolutely.
I can't really explain it. It's just a gut thing.
We're probably right.
Probably.
No.
Probably.
Our guts versus yours.
Yeah. So I wanted to kind of switch. I this wasn't on the schedule, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it briefly just to get your thoughts. So I don't know, Jim, if you watched the Critics' Choice. I know, Lauren, you probably had to write about it and everything like
Actually,
that.
I watched it for fun.
Really?
You watched it
Yeah,
for fun?
I didn't watch
did.
it all.
Was it
at all.
fun watching it? Because going there
Wasn't
not
fun?
was not.
It wasn't.
Not
I
that
mean,
fun.
it was for me. It was just I have to work most award shows, so if I don't have to work one, I'm watching. So like I also don't have
Okay.
to work the SAG Awards, so I am watching that, rain or shine.
The reason why I wanted to bring this up was, we talked about the best actress kind of like tie and how that kind of like is usually at the Critics' Choice. It kind of sets the tone of like what's going to be best actress, who's going to be best actress. And to have that tie kind of like left us going like, like, what are we going to do?
Yeah. We'll just vote for Lady Gaga.
But
really.
I want to talk about the show's structure. It's very interesting because now that I've gotten some feedback about our own show, and I agree with the feedback, I was very confused by some of the structure that happened at the Critics' Choice. So they obviously did a lot of these pre-award things where they put up like a screenshot and they said, okay, these Mission Impossible won Best Action Film.
Right.
But then there was these weird categories where like they announced the favorite, and after announcing the favorite twice, like there was no one there. Like, shouldn't they have done one of those with like the little banner that came up
Right.
as opposed to that? And then what was with the hosting with he showed up like in the beginning and then like once again and then at the end. And then certain presenters were up, like Ben Stiller was up there for like 30 minutes, I feel like just like, and I'm going to do this award, and this award, and this award. It's like, what was going on this year?
I don't know.
It's
You would know
always
better
like
than
I've
us.
actually never watched that award show. I'm not a big fan of watching award shows in general because I kind of feel like I could be doing anything else and just be going online and going, okay, cool, I know who's winning. And then tune in later if I really want to see an acceptance speech or a musical act or whatever. I don't generally like watching award shows. So I didn't watch it. But it sounds
live for
bizarre.
them, so.
Yeah, you do. You used to.
I love like predicting and watching them and cheering for my favorite films.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you
it's
can
my
do that
favorite
on
thing every year.
IMDb. Or JoeBlow.com, by the way.
Yeah. Or at the Hollywood Reporter.
yes.
Ooh, yeah, follow along. I'll be writing about it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Plug.
Plug. Oh my God.
Shameless plugs.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
JoeBlow.com, coming to you.
I wasn't there, so I don't. On TV, it felt a little awkward, but that show usually does. I feel like it's not one of the more exciting ones.
No, I mean, this is, it was the first year that I went to the Spirit Awards last year, and I thought that was really entertaining because, I mean, it's John Mulaney and Nick Kroll.
Right.
And I thought those two just bouncing back and forth and their crude jokes and everything, like they really knew how to host an award show.
Can we get them to host the Oscars?
Oh, I know.
Right? I agree. Nick Kroll is amazing.
but
He's so
He's
funny.
so funny.
I sat in the Critics' Choice, and it was funny because I was so looking forward to it. I'm like, this is my first year. I'm super excited about it. And the highlight for me was talking to a lot of the people we saw at our show and just going around and like just talking and say hi again. And, had a nice conversation with Boots Riley, but I was just so uninterested in the ceremony itself. And it was weird because like I'm usually glued to these things. Like I like Ashley would call like her mom or something. I'm like, Ash, just come on, it's about to start. Like get off the phone. And it's like,
This is sacred.
but it's like when I'm watching it there, I was kind of like bored. I kept like saying, Ash, I'm gonna go walk around. I'm gonna go see who I can bump into.
Well, from an audience perspective, it seemed like a lot of people were doing that because every time they came back from commercial break, people were up out of their seat. It was loud. Like some of the presenters felt like they were screaming into the microphone. I mean,
Come back in the room. Come on.
No, really though, I feel
Wow.
didn't they have to say that a couple
All the
times?
time. All the
Yeah,
time. It's-
I saw that on Twitter somewhere.
What?
Yeah, like in between, the announcers would have to be like,
People are
"Everybody,
going on
please shut
Twitter
up,"
while the
basically.
show was going on. I'm like, I'm going to go in the other room and
Yeah.
It was very strange because again, this was my first time being at something like that, and I know what they're able to pull off, how many people they get into that ceremony, and how organized it is. Kudos to them because they did such a great job. I could never do something like that, but. It was just, looking at something like that and seeing the scale and how many years it's been going on, it was strange to see so many things that I feel like they could tweak and make a little bit better. Not saying that they didn't do a great job, but it's just like, it felt off, like why certain people were up there so much. And, they should limit the fact that you're not walking around every single time there's a commercial break, because I'll be honest, that's the habit I fell into. I sat there and was watching it for a few minutes. And then I just started getting disinterested. And then I just started walking around and saying, oh. I'm like, where's the 8th grade table? Oh, it's over there. Okay, I'm going to go stand over there, and then I'll make my way to Bo and Elsie. And it's like, oh, where's the Quiet Place table? Oh, it's over there. I'm going to go walk. Like, and it's weird. And it's like, I wasn't the only one doing it. It became the regular thing.
It looked like everyone was doing it.
So, I mean, what was the big surprise? Was there any surprise for you of the night?
I mean, the ties were pretty surprising because they were in big categories.
Lady Gaga.
Just punch him at this point.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I'm fine.
I'm trying to think. I mean, nothing. There were a few in the like below the line categories that I thought were interesting. Like Justin Hurwitz won for score.
Yeah.
When I thought it would have been Nicholas Britell. Not that I'm complaining because I love Justin and his work. But there were a few others, but they were smaller. The big categories were all pretty.
By the way, what won best song?
Gee, Jimmy, I wonder.
Yeah, I bet it was Shallow.
It was indeed.
That's cool.
That's gonna win.
We're off the rails right now.
Let's just make that prediction right now. It's gonna win. It's
That's
it's
yes.
done.
Yeah, there's
nothing. That's just.
Although
that's done.
I gotta say, Tom York's score for Suspiria, The song he did for that movie is gorgeous.
Don't worry, we'll get nominated.
No, it won't, but I love it. I love it.
have to worry about that.
It should.
No, don't worry about that.
Can I add really quickly?
Yeah.
Boots Riley, Best Actor.
Best actor.
Actor. He's not an actor.
Oh, no, Best Director. Sorry. Yeah,
I was like,
Space
what's
I'm
he
like,
in?
he is a really good actor. I mean,
Best
talking
director,
to him, he's so
yes.
animated. I
That
love that
movie-
freaking, like, he like looked like he was in a bathrobe. I
Yeah.
love, like, I was talking to his,
That-
like, hair, his chest hair was bulging out when he was, like, talking to me with his glasses. Yeah, man, thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
I'm actually wishing that movie would get a little more love at the Oscars.
Oh, I would
Sorry
too.
to bother you.
By the way, I don't know if this is
But
public.
he's not an actor.
I don't
Forget
know if
that.
this is
Sorry,
public
that
It's
was-
okay.
news.
Nicole Kidman's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
supporting
No.
her Destroyer, so.
I don't know if this is public news or not, but I will. Boots and I had a really long conversation, and I don't know if you know this, but apparently he's working on a horror like little series with Guillermo, and he's
yeah.
actually going to
I
be
heard
directing.
something
He's
about
going to be
that.
directing one of the episodes.
Great.
Cool.
Great.
Which I'm really excited to see what he does because that guy. I know. Sorry to bother you. A lot of people like. There's a love-hate relationship with that movie, but it's. To me, that was the movie that was just so
It's fascinating.
ambitious and like
so good.
That it
and
was.
different.
That it was.
that it was. You're on the negative spectrum of that movie.
I was completely on board until that
Horse.
that whole thing.
A horse
Yeah.
is a
It
horse,
lost
of
me
course,
there.
Of course, a horse is a horse, of course.
It lost me there a little bit, but overall, I'd say
You know
I
it's a
like
true story,
75%
right?
of it.
That actually happened.
Is it?
Yeah, that
Is it?
actually happened. It's
Wow.
very true, yes. 100%. I saw one
Fascinating.
of those horse guys the other day. Really, really disturbing.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say I'm negative on it, but I wasn't like,
Do you want a horse like that to own?
no,
Okay, just checking.
no. That was creepy.
Yeah.
It was very disturbing.
That was, I've seen some really disturbing horror movies this year, and I think that was more disturbing than all of them.
Yes, it
so.
was.
Yeah, that
Yes,
was
it was.
pretty messed up.
Yes, it
messed
was.
up.
Real quick, last minute, like, hey, before the nominations come out, what are like maybe one or two recommendations you would recommend people to check out?
Well, I'm going to just be
Oh,
predictable.
Jesus Christ.
Tilda Swinton versus
Oh,
Fury.
okay.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
You were gonna say
what did you
something
think? I was going to say Ben Whishaw from Paddington 2.
Nope, not that one.
I would absolutely say I think Tilda Swinton is remarkable. I mean, people are praising Christian Bale deservedly. He should get praise. He's fantastic. Tilda Swinton was a man. Okay, she was a man.
An
She's
old
a man,
man.
Old
baby.
man, and
Old man.
and she plays 3 different characters. It is a sublime performance, and it's not like she's already, she's given some of the best. She's, in my opinion, she's one of the best actors working today. Period. So I'd love to see her get a nomination. I'd love to see Hugh Grant, as I mentioned. Yeah.
So those are two recommendations of movies you want them to watch?
Yeah.
Paddington 2
Paddington
and
2 and
Suspiria.
Suspiria. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How about you, Lauren?
I mean, I would say Cold War, but I know that most people in America can't see it yet, but it will be on Amazon. So
Yeah.
when that happens, I think everyone should check that one out. I mean, my favorite, I say of the year is probably The Favorite. So
It's a lot of
go
our
check that
favorites.
out. I know it is. But I'm trying to think of movies that maybe the general public hasn't necessarily heard of.
I think the one that I keep getting, no one's heard of it. No one's literally heard of it. Is Ben is Back.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That movie is fantastic. It's
really good.
terrific.
The performances are so
You got me
good.
into that
I
one.
know. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh.
For me, it's funny. I'm actually going to go with the. Not only do I agree with that choice, but I'm also going to say Boy Erased, which I feel like was just criminally underlooked.
Very good movie.
Yeah, that one just fell off the
Oh
map.
my God, I don't
Yeah.
know what
No
happened.
one's talking about it at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Telluride this year, looking back on that, that was like a rough year for them. Like nothing really hit out of there. Like they had First Man, they had Front Runner, they had Can You Ever Forgive Me, which didn't hit that well. Old Man and the Gun.
Yeah.
I thought for sure, like when that
Oh
movie
my
came
God,
out, I was
I
like,
know.
Robert Redford's got the award. Robert Redford's got the award.
Yeah.
He's older. He's retiring. There's no chance he's not getting. And I saw it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's a charming movie, but like there's nothing really memorable about it.
Venice
It's fine.
had the ones to beat this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just funny, like the other conversations. I mean, this would not be a top recommendation, but just movies that I'm thinking about that just just fall by the wayside. I mean, that hotel movie, I forgot the name of it, that they were like really going to try to push for awards with the guy who did Cabin in the Woods.
The El Royale.
Oh yeah!
Oh,
My God! Like
I
that
love that
movie,
movie.
they just like that movie just like went nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, Widows.
I love that movie. And Widows.
Yeah,
Okay, that was
I
my
would-
recommendation. Go see Widows because nobody saw it. And
Yeah.
it's
No one saw
so
Widows.
good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I would. I definitely. I wouldn't be surprised to see her get a nomination for
I
Best
wouldn't either
Actress for
because
that
they
one.
love
though.
Viola.
Yeah,
that
but
movie's
I
just-
don't know. It's
I don't know. It's so sad.
Fox is it's weird because I feel like Bohemian Rhapsody became their big one, which is
Which
strange.
is so random.
Yeah, there you go. I know.
I like this movie too.
I agree with you, Jimmy, on that one. I really love
Yeah, I
Bohemian
did.
Rhapsody, but to me, what's strange is that just between the El Royale movie, Widows, Hey You Give, like it just these movies just didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Well, I think didn't El Royale do decent business though? I thought it did okay.
No, it did.
Really? That's a shame.
it
It's a
was
fun movie.
It was disappointing.
I think that's the best Chris Hemsworth has ever been. I enjoyed him in that. It was a blast.
Ooh, I will
was
agree to
fun.
disagree with that one, my friend.
We never disagree. What are you talking about?
Yes. Did you also think he was good in the Vacation remake too? Oh, that was a great movie. That
I actually
Vacation
enjoyed
remake.
Vacation for reasons I'll discuss later.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I would just say Ben is back, Boy Erase, and of course, I'm going to say Hate You Give because it's underappreciated.
Yeah, I agree.
Agreed.
I agree.
So I will not be here next week. I
dare
don't
you.
know who will be filling in yet, but we will have a show next week. I think Rama and Kit, and then we'll probably have someone else who surprises with us. And then I'm going to do a live stream the following week where you'll see me and Ashley are going to do our picks for Sundance because we'll still be at Sundance and it's like a down day, so we'll do a live stream. But thank you for watching this episode. Once again, guys, where can everyone find you?
You can find my work at thehollywoodreporter.com, sometimes in our magazine, and you can find me on Twitter at _Lauren Huff.
Jimmy to the O on any social media, whatever. James Oster, JoeBlow.com, ArrowInTheHead.com.
Okay. And I am Scott Menzel. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @theotherscottm or go to weliveentertainment.com. Real quick, just for yucks to end this video. What do you think is going to win Best Picture?
Think will win and think want is a very different thing.
Yes.
Very different.
Yeah.
Go
You go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because we talked about this at the awards.
Yeah.
I think Roma's going to win. I don't want it to win. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
everyone. I know it's kind of controversial, but not really.
I completely
Right.
agree. I
Yeah.
think Roma's going to win, and I don't want it to.
Yeah.
I
gonna be
love
another year
I
that,
love
like-
Roma. I think it's a great movie, and I'm a huge fan of his work. And it's such a intimate portrait that I don't know. It didn't connect as well as some of
Yeah.
his other work with me. I still
Same.
think it's a beautiful film. I would rather see A Star Is Born. I would rather see The Favorite. I would rather see something else.
I would rather see about half of these.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the others. I think the ones that were
No, the
front
others won't win.
runners-
That was years ago.
Jimmy. I think the other ones that are on this list that were probably the front runners going into it, like Green Book. I think there's just no way that wins.
I think the
now,
front
and I
runner will
think
be the front runner.
Oh, yeah. Yes, the front runner is definitely
That's
going to be the front
definitely
runner.
getting nominated.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Hugh Jackman should host the Oscars.
Yes,
I
he
know,
should.
he'd be
Oh,
good.
he should.
He already did that
know.
once, didn't he?
I know.
Yeah.
And he was good.
Way back in the day.
He was good.
Back to the Muppets.
Are we all in agreement that it's Roma that's going to win?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
so.
I think so. I'm hoping for Star Is Born.
Yeah, I'm hoping.
I think Star Is Born is going to go home empty-handed minus song. I'm going to say
I
it.
think so too.
And that will make me very sad. I'll be a sad panda.
I know it
It's
will.
going to be crazy because going into this season, that is all anyone talked
Mm-hmm.
about. And even La La Land, which had sort of a similar trajectory, it still went home with several Oscars.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't see that happening with this. But I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope
really-
I hope
really
we're all
I'm
wrong on that because I'd love to see it get
I'm
a little
trying
bit
to
more
reverse
than
psychology it,
Yeah.
Like maybe if
Yeah.
I hope it loses, it'll win. I don't know.
yeah Academy voters. You know,
So you
we're
heard
talking
it
to you.
here. Roma, winner of Best Picture at the Academy Awards. There you go. Spoiler alert. All right, guys. Until next week, thanks for tuning in. Take care.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.